Today's cast is going to be snow versus light on the map Polypoid. Polypoid is a map that we've seen countless times here in StarCraft, but I think you put snow and light on this map, no matter how you cut it, it's going to be an exciting one. So let's go ahead and hop into our game. And if you like content like this and you want to see more of it in the future, please subscribe to the channel. And check out my merch at tastelessthreads.com. That shirt you just saw me on was a classic Doom-inspired shirt, because I am a man of class. And we got a lot of other cool stuff on there. Anyways, over here in the top right, in the blue, we've got light. Down in the bottom right, in the red, obviously we have snow. Both players sharing the right side of this map. Polypoid, I think, is a great map. There are some features that are undeniable about it. One is that every expansion, once you get it, it's kind of hard to take it back. That includes the mineral-only base that you have, just from Snow's perspective, that's right out here. It's on the high ground. And by the way, this is especially true in this matchup. The bases over here and over here that are basically shared by each of the spawns. Again, tough to break into. And once you get the right defenses there, it's pretty easy to hold. So this is going to be an interesting match with these two going into this to see what kind of game they're going to have. Light has some of the best defense, in the whole world. Snow has some of the best offense. I will say, I think Snow is probably the best PvTer of all time. Even when you go back and look at the all-time greats, he seems to have a handle on this matchup that is unlike any other Protoss we've ever seen, to the point where if you ever go to his YouTube, he does strats that are so bizarre against players that are so good that it's like only he could even get away with this, if that makes sense. So, I mean, he really is someone who's very comfortable in the matchup, and he's in many ways considered one of the best players in the world because he's caught up in his PvP and his PvZ as well. So we're going to see a very standard opening from Snow. No scout, but pylon, gateway, gas, core, and another pylon shortly after that. Light's positioning, very standard. This depot is made here because SCVs that normally spawn here get pushed out over on this side, which makes them closer to the mineral patches that are here. One of those little Brood War optimization things. And if you were wondering if you made a depot here and filled that in, where would it pop out? It'd go up here. It would go, if you keep filling it up from the buildings, for all the things that pop out of structures, it goes all the way around like that. So you could do that if you wanted to push the SCV to where you wanted it to go. In these positions, the barracks and the depot, it gives you a little hole that the Marine can fit through and the Zealot can't. And so this is always a good defense in case the rare double gateway in the middle of the map is started, or some kind of quick Zealot rush is started. From there, we've got the factory coming. We have no SCVs. None in gas right now, which means he's going to make a command center. Going back to Snow's perspective, this looks pretty normal. He's going for his second Dragoon. Dragoon range is coming along just fine. But this can be a little bit risky, what we're seeing here from Light. It seems like Light knows he might get scouted a little bit later, and so he's just going to hurry down here, have a vulture being made, and I think he's going to basically get this up at like the last imaginable second that there is. I think the Dragoon's going to get one shot on the Marine, not even that. The Marine combat rolls into the bunker and dodges the Dragoon shot. And so we get the vulture that's going to come out on the map. Protoss knows this is a threat and has to go back and defend at the ramp. But from the Terran's perspective, what you really want to do is just see, okay, is there a Nexus being made or not? And from there, what kind of game do I have? It looks like Snow actually stopped at 2, and I guess he decides to not make a third Dragoon right away. He started it now, but he made a Robo first, is because he sees the Vulture on the map. And so whenever I have games like this, I'm always interested in because we can kind of dig into exactly what they're doing, and I'm able to observe and click on everything, see the little nuances of the build. So, kind of a cool little feature. One Dragoon's going to be out here to try to chip away at the bunker, and I think this is a really bad call. I think he thought the Vulture, or I don't know why he doesn't have this protected. I guess it's okay because one more Dragoon's going to be down here. But again, when this Vulture's on the map, you always want to make sure that everything is protected and safe. Light's going to be going for mines. He wants to take advantage of the Vulture that's out on the map and try to plant some traps, try to spot for when that third Nexus is going to come down and what exactly is going to be made from it. Now, we've seen a lot of Protosses go for the shuttle right away. This is not going to be one of those games. He's going to go for at least one observer first. And Terran is actually going to go for a small push. Now, this is never that surprising when you're this close to each other, because you can put a little bit of pressure on. Oh, hold on a second. Where's he going to go? One thing about this map is if you try to push up here, the high ground's just so good for the Dragoons. So Terran can just be shut down. But the fact that he's just got this out here kind of lurking is interesting. Vulture speed is being made. SCV production looks like it's going to resume in a second. Protoss has taken the third base off of the two gateways. This is all very normal. The first observer is going to come across the map. And it actually seems to me almost like this is a defensive positional setup. Light actually wants to move out, perhaps taking a third base soon. It's that, or he's going to have to do something with this. And for the time being, I mean, the first shuttles just started along with the Robo support bay. Terran doesn't have to be fearful of drops just yet. And so the push is going to happen. I think when he sees that observer come in there, he knows it's time to come. He also sees this observer over here, so he knows this is like just going to come down to control. And we're talking about two guys with some of the best control in the whole world. One tank gets pushed out, and I think it can just barely be shot down. He targets it with two more Dragoons, and that one bites the dust immediately. Snow's now going to continue to pursue. Remember, you know, there's only 3 mines in each Vulture, so you don't have that many moments to create space with your tanks and the Dragoons. So anytime the Dragoons clean that up, it can feel inconsequential, but it's actually pretty big. And I don't think siege mode is done. So we're going to see that 7 Dragoon push that's going to come forward now. He might try to come in here and just kill the tanks. He's going to just chip away at this bunker. Siege mode's done. The Vultures come up. They're going to be killing these probes over here. This is huge. And he's going to... Oh my god, the Dragoon is just fat enough. But he is killing a decent amount of probes. It's 44 SCVs to 39 probes. A very wild skirmish, a cool back and forth, but, you know, tactically it seems like Light has a very good idea of how to try to handle this. And so he knows the tanks are going to be really tempting bait, and he fishes these Dragoons in just so that the Vultures can come in here from the side and take out these probes. Over at the Robo support bay, we've got Reaver speed being upgraded. We'll probably have 2 more gateways come down after that. And we're waiting to see how many more factories are going to be made before the command center. Is this going to make the command center right now? There it is. So he's going to make drops available and really try to keep the Terran on his toes. Now, when you see the drops come, sometimes it doesn't seem like they have an ideal moment. I think a lot of times players are also getting the starport because shuttles are so prevalent, and a Wraith really just stops that. So, we're going up to 5 factories. Terran really didn't lose a lot of tanks, by the way. We saw 1 shot down earlier. Protoss is still on 3 bases. So we're going to need to see a 4th. It can't be here. He put a pylon. By the way, we do actually occasionally have Protosses expand towards Terran. I know it sounds crazy, but I have seen it a couple of times now. Vulture drop back here in the main. He just wants to kill probes. You just get a, you know, 5 or 6 probes here, and these Vultures have paid for themselves. Remember that right now, Terran's not losing anything. He needs to get this Nexus started. The Vultures are going to come up. Can he start it in time? Oh, my God. Just barely. Another probe's going to go down here. I mean, Light is a god right now. Just shaving off probes here and there. I mean, this is a Terran that's had 2 command centers, making SCVs off and on. And as the games are going on here, you know, he's stayed steadily ahead of this Protoss. It's, you know, up on 3 Nexuses, trying to produce workers as quickly as possible. We don't have that Wraith Maid like I thought was going to come. And things quiet down a little bit. I think we're all familiar with this, but for those that don't really know the idea behind this, anything that comes out will get one-shotted by the 2 Reavers. It'll just get blown up immediately. And so it's a way to mitigate movement on the map. And the only way to stop it is with that Goliath range upgrade on the missiles, because they can shoot down this shuttle in a matter of seconds. And so Protoss have to be very, very hyper aware of that. Once Goliath range is done. Okay, so there, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It looks like it somehow has 2 HP. You get the idea. So you shoot it, you back up, and you relocate. And then if Terran gets too overly ambitious, you run in with your Dragoons and take the fight. Back at home, we have 3 more shuttles. We have the Templar Archives coming. And this is a pretty risky game right now. If you're not careful... Oh, man, Light is so on top of it. If you're not careful, you can move too far out with your tanks, and then all 3 of the shuttles will pick up here with everything and drop into your main. Oh my god, he's taking so much damage. The shuttle's gonna get sniped if he's not careful. And that's exactly what happened. And Snow's gonna be feeling that. Losing the Reavers, you're functionally so much worse. Okay, he's continuing to back up. And I just don't think he can attack in here. I mean, I'm watching this. I'm scratching my head trying to figure out, okay, is there a play that he can do? We do have Templars out. We've got Psystorm coming. Upgrades continuing to come along right now for Protoss. Looks like +1's just now done. Same thing for Terran. +1 done over here as well. But a patient Terran can absorb a lot of blows from the Protoss before anything can really happen there. Snow takes an unusual base over here. And I find this pretty interesting. I think because, you know, basically Terran's walled in, it's pretty hard to get out without being spotted. I guess, in theory, you could go up and around and through here. He knows that there's probably going to be more scans coming down here and here. And so you might as well take a base that's just kind of in the middle of nowhere. If you're ever sharing one side of the map, this base is the hidden map. And it looks like Light's on top of it. He scouts that. Beautifully done. Terran's making a 4th command center, probably to come down over here. And I think a big part of this game is going to start to look like a fight over whether or not Terran can control the 3 o'clock position on the map. Now, every time these vultures come out, it's scary and you got to worry about your probes. But if Terran loses all the vultures, they don't have the same kind of muscle in their attacks. A perfect scan on the observer. That's going to force the Robo to continue to make more and more observers here. It's funny, there's like an active group of units for Snow, and then there's just the stuff he's macroed out that he hasn't touched yet. So this pylon's going to be destroyed, and this command center is going to be lifted, I guess, once it's finished here, and sent out on the map. Is he going to be able to move this over here? No! Okay, it doesn't matter. And so this is, I want to highlight this in this game, because this is something I'm starting to learn here for myself. The way that Snow micros a shuttle, I'm so used to the kind of, like, baboon ooga booga play from Protoss, where you just, like, try to A-move everything on top of it and try to spam out all the damage. He's very different. He'll advance a small amount of army in, he'll drop 1 Templar Storm, pick it back up, and basically keep recycling that pattern in over and over. And so, it's like a way to approach the game where you're just even if it's vultures, even if you don't kill the vultures, you just storm them, get out. It's hard for Terran to repair this stuff. Look for another opportunity, storm, get out again, and just kind of play this patient play. And by the way, I was wrong. That command center, it's got a little brother over here, but this command center is going to go up at 12. And so I guess the threats created here from snow make Light a little bit less confident about just going in there and staying there. By the way, everybody's maxed out, so something's going to happen. You can't just sit on maxed out for too much longer. SCV is going to come in. Obviously, you know, you're going to have to deal with that over there when the time comes. The vultures are going to try to swing back around. And, yeah, here we go, finally. Looks like he's bound these all the different control groups. He's going to have to start to sweep the map. Now, Terran at +2 attack, and I would guess +1 armor, it's close to finishing. It's not done yet. This is a better army here for Terran, unless Protoss gets the Psy Storms off. And so look at that really great storm. I'm going to keep a wide shot over here so we can try to follow each of these Psy Storms and see exactly where they land. Another good one. And then the idea from the Protoss is once the Zealots are going to die, you run back with the Dragoons. And you rinse and repeat. And I'll tell you what, the trade was not bad. It's 150 to 150. There are more shuttles with Templars in here. Can Act 2 be as good as Act 1? So he's going to look for a moment like here, probably storming this location. Does another one down here. Nice D-Matrix. And I got to point out, there's like one gateway here. Cannons here. He needs gateways like this. Because if the Terran just pushes down, collapses on top of this Nexus, and then contains here, all of the gateways are right here. You'll bottleneck the entire army and win the game. And then you just fracture off a couple workers here and there. Meanwhile, the shuttle's going to come back over here. We want to watch the shuttle very closely. And the reason why this is so much more popular than Arbiter now, because if you're like old school like me, it was always the Arbiters. It's that, you know, you create another opportunity with every storm. It might not be as dramatic as a stasis, but maybe it is. And you can pick up the Templar and save it. You don't have to just be abused by, you know, EMP. It doesn't have to just be about, like, does this Terran know how to EMP people? Big on Siege. Could be a tempting moment to attack in. He's got all four of the Templars in the shuttle. I'm going to do a really wide shot. It's interesting where Light's choosing to push. It looks like he wants to set up siege tanks here to shut off this part of the map. And he's basically systematically breaking down parts of the map. And I think he might even take the rest of his army here and move back in over here now that he's drawn the Protoss army to the side. Here comes the Templar. Is there an opportunity? I don't really see it. He's going to try to go for one. He storms. And I'll tell you what, not that great. He leaves the Templar there. That seems to be a mistake. He scans. I don't know, man. This looks pretty scary for Snow right now. Real quickly, Terran's expanded up here, just to go back to the fight. Shuttle goes down. There's more Templars. Can he get the storms off? Storming Vultures is just as acceptable as storming tanks. Now here we go. One storm, a huge one right there. Oh my god. Can he get it?
Actually serious? Are you fucking actually serious?
Forgot I have my Artosis alerts on here. Thank you for the sub. I appreciate it. We got Artosis spirit animal out here as the storms came down on the Terran army. He misses the storm. Can he get another one? He shoots for it again. Another one. Misses the shot. But he's starting to really thin these tanks. I mean, this is insane. And every time, there's just enough Dragoons and Zealots being manufactured back here. And I think he can maybe even try to come in again. And thank you, Don, for the sub. I appreciate you, man. Welcome to the cast. Some Zealot bombs over here to draw the siege tanks and mines over in. Zealot's going to push in further. He waits for the first tanks. You can even see Lights trying to stagger some of the shots. Not quite working. He backs up again. This is a case study in how to use Storm against Terran. You can see how artfully he's doing it. He waits for the moment he storms. This time he morphs. Other times he picks back up. And we have carriers being made. Oh my god, I didn't even see this. So the whole time he's doing this and trading out supply, he's going to fill that in parallel with carriers, not just units. So he's got a whole other plan here, and it's going to force Goliaths into the mix. Another great storm. You take what you can get. That's all you got to do. But with the tanks over here, and this is a really important position, with the mines, the tanks, covering it up here, the top left main is going to go to Light. What's happening down here might not even matter. Shuttle comes out. DT inside. Gotta watch out for these mines. And I mean, you know, storm drops, they probably would have been better to have earlier on here on the SCVs. Terran has a really high amount of that. Looks like he saves the DT. Where can he go with this? It's out of, what do you call it? Shields. Almost said energy. He could swing back into the right or to the left. It looks like this side's got too many turrets. He's gonna go for it. No! He loses it. Note the DTs that are made by the one gateway. It's really smart. If Terran's not super observant, you're just gonna lose that. Here comes that DT now. That's shot down. Protoss has enough to fight back over here. I don't... Okay, hold on. I keep forgetting we actually have carriers here, which is, like, massive. At the same time, I mean, Terran's broken free from their quadrant. When you have a Terran that's not just in, like from this base down to this base, if they're over here, it becomes a huge problem. Split map positions, Terran will beat Protoss, and if Protoss can't do anything about it. Shuttle on the move here. Zealot bomb's going to be inbound, no doubt. Here we go. He unloads those. Light with a response to unsiege. And it looks like Snow's going to try to run around. This is kind of crazy here. I don't know if this is going to work. Meanwhile, Terran's trying to push up here, but there's no Goliaths. Oh, chat, there's no Goliaths. And so he could just kill this whole thing off. Meanwhile, I don't know if there's enough tanks here. It looks like at the last second it's more clear than before. And so he can go up here and attack that. Oh my god, this game is so good. Shuttle coming up now. And, I mean, the Archon could go ham on the SCVs. He can send the Zealots up here into the main. Try to drop there. He's getting a lot of SCV kills. There's 8 kills already on the Archon. We have 3 carriers down here. There's 3 more out now. He's getting another weapon, another attack upgrade. I can't tell what the attack upgrade is on the carriers. +2, so he's getting +3 right now. That's pretty big. And Protoss has remade this base. They're both fairly even on workers. It's 47 probes to 52 SCVs, so that's like, you know, that's pretty good for both sides. These carriers are going to get a lot of kills here. I'm really interested that he didn't just target down the vessel right away. That says something about my understanding of what's priority here. He's going to take out another Goliath. You know, the Goliaths are at 3-3. The carriers don't have any shields or armor upgrades. You can just have +3, which is about to finish, I think, over here. No, it's got a ways to go, but you get what I'm saying. Getting the attack upgrade on the carriers is the key thing, and then you want to try to micro them away in this game of keep away. Dragoons are going to start to push in. And so in moments like this, when you see this many Goliaths and tanks, I always wonder if it's just better to go back into Zealot, Dragoon, Templar. Oh, that's funny. This Nexus hasn't been remade over here. He is going to go into range of these cannons. And Terran is still taking this. By the way, this base over here that's just now being scanned could play a major role. In fact, he's going to land the command center over here. He beat me to it. Storm, perfect Storm. And I mean, look, guys, Goliaths might as well be Hydralisks. I mean, they're terrible against Storm because they tend to clump up. They're pretty stationary when they fight. This base is still pretty rich. This base is going to mine out very soon. Over here, we could see that this base is getting quite low. Sorry. Another great set of storms here. But the carrier count has gotten pretty low. And that could be a problem here for Snow. Snow's going to actually try to just... This is wild. Seriously? He's going to do this? I feel like this can't be the right move, but let's see what happens. There's no way this is the play. Well, he's got his Dragoons up here. Carrier Goliath... Sorry, Carrier Dragoon can fight Goliaths. You know, you just got to make sure you don't lose the carriers, and Snow just taps out. Even though the fight was like, kind of going okay, I guess. The truth is you got bases here, here. Protoss can't expand here. Protoss didn't have this, and Terran just took that. So at the end of the day, that's all she wrote. Great game, though, between Light and Snow. Pretty crazy one. Thank you so much for watching that. If you want to get my merch, this is a Doom-inspired shirt. We've got other gaming and RTS-inspired shirts you can get at tastelessthreads.com. And come hang out on my Twitch chat, where I record these live, as well as playing StarCraft and other games. And I do have plans to do more content around future RTS games that are going to be coming out, like Stormgate, like Zero Space. And so, yeah. Finally, subscribe to the YouTube. And let me know what you thought about that game in the comments section. That does help me with the algorithm so more people can discover this video. Thank you so much again for watching. And have a great day. Hope to see you in another video. Bye-bye.